Hello and welcome again to this GED live screencast at Phuket PALS with me, Teacher Marco. Today, we will again talk about another interesting topic about apostrophe and possessive nouns. And this is the 10th part of this series that I am making about testing basic English usage. We still have, I think, around 2 or 3 topics under this series. And if you haven't watched the previous videos, please do check out our channel. And also, before we begin, I'd like to encourage you to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and share this video because we would like to help out and reach out to other students and people like you who are in need of assistance in taking their GED tests. Okay, let's begin. So, like what I mentioned a while back, I am making this series, and I have made 9 screencasts about the topics presented on this slide. We are already on this part, so yeah, we still have 2 remaining parts. And today, we will talk about apostrophes and possessive nouns. We will talk about the basic rules, and also we will touch the concept of plural possessives. Okay, this is a bit confusing because it involves using a punctuation mark, which most people are not so familiar with, which is the apostrophe. Okay, so I will talk about when to use it and a proper way of using it. Alright, so we usually use apostrophe when we're dealing with contractions. Now, what are contractions? Contractions are a combination of 2 words to make it shorter, and this is usually common when we are making use of negative forms of auxiliary verbs. Primarily auxiliary verbs when we are trying to combine them with other words. Okay, auxiliary or helping verbs or linking verbs, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we use an apostrophe where the letter or letters have been removed. Okay, for example, here. Alright, doesn't. So the missing letter here is does not. So we put the apostrophe where the letters have been removed. Okay, where O usually is located. So we place the apostrophe there. Wouldn't. So we put the apostrophe there. Okay, it's inappropriate or incorrect to put the apostrophe after the word does. Okay, so the technique is locate where the letter was, where a missing letter was supposed to be, and then that's where you have to place your apostrophe. Okay, alright, now you might ask me, what about you? There are 2 letters. Well, of course, you put it in between. You can place it where H and A are supposed to be placed. Of course, you only need to put 1 apostrophe, even though there are 2 letters that are missing. Okay. Also, we use apostrophe to show possession. What do we mean by possession? Ownership. Okay. If you want to show that someone owns something, then that is called possession. So we use an apostrophe to show possession. With a singular noun, though, we add an apostrophe. With a singular noun, you have to add an apostrophe and a letter S. So sorry, I had a typo here. So you have to add an apostrophe and a letter S. Okay, alright, so the man's shirt. Okay. So, singular noun. Of course, a man is a singular noun. And we want to show that this man owns this shirt. So what do? We put an apostrophe and an S. The manager's check. We have one manager here, and he owns the check. Mr. Taylor's house. So Mr. Taylor is the owner of the house, so we put an apostrophe S to show possession. Okay? Now, here's the confusing part. Many common nouns end in the letter S. So do a lot of proper nouns. Okay? It's how they are spelled. So we have many rules. We have many grammar books telling conflicting theories about how to show possession when using these nouns. Now my answer to you is there isn't a specific right answer. What you have to do is just to be consistent with what you choose. When you're writing an essay, make sure that when you're showing possession of this proper nouns and common nouns with letter S at the end, you have to be consistent on what technique or how you show possession. So I'm going to show you some techniques or theories. So you can add an apostrophe S to everything. Jones. Alright, Jones apostrophe S. Hastings apostrophe S. Class apostrophe S. While that's a common thing that you can do, another option is to add only an apostrophe after proper nouns and an apostrophe plus S after common nouns. That's also one thing that you can do. Boss, truck. The boss here is not a proper noun, so we put an apostrophe S. While Jones is a proper noun because it's the last name of the person, so we just put an apostrophe, no need to put an S. The hippopotamus, food. Okay, so of course this is a common noun. The Texas weather. Of course, we only have one Texas, one state. Okay. Alright, so if two people own the same item, put apostrophe plus S after the second name. So, for example, Alex and Miranda are husband and wife and they own this home or house. So you can just add an apostrophe S after the second name, which is Miranda. Alex and Miranda's home. In cases of separate possession, use the possessive form for both. For example, Alex has his own home and Miranda has his own house as well. So Alex and Miranda's home are both lovely. Okay? That's pretty basic. Another thing that you should remember, be aware of nouns ending in Y. Do not show possession by changing the Y to IES. Okay, we put IES when we want to show, where we want to change the singular noun into plural noun, but we don't do that to show possession. You don't change the spelling. A lot of people are confused about this. So if we're talking about one company, then yeah, that's it. Okay, if we're talking about a lot of companies, so then yeah, you can do possession, like apostrophe plus S. Okay. Be aware of false possessives, which occur with the nouns ending in S. Don't add apostrophes to noun-derived adjectives ending in S. Pay close attention, and it will be helpful. So read properly and, try to understand. Like, for example, I enjoy New Orleans cuisine. Actually, New Orleans cannot own a cuisine. It's impossible for that to happen because a cuisine is not a property. Okay, so New Orleans is a noun-derived adjective describing the cuisine. labeling the cuisine, so we don't need an apostrophe there. Okay. Regular nouns affirm their plural by adding s or es. Of course, we mentioned that with the companies. To show plural possession, simply add an apostrophe after the s. So, yeah, if it's plural, you just have to put an apostrophe. However, we have an earlier example. Okay, you still have to remember if it's a common noun or a proper noun. But this one is plural now, so we just have to put an apostrophe after the s. Okay? Alright, now if it's singular common noun, that's where you have to put an apostrophe in s. Like here. Right, yeah, there you go. It's a common noun. And it's singular. It's a common noun and it's singular. Okay? Alright, so there you go. Guys' night out, 2 actress rows. Irregular nouns become plural by changing the spelling. It's helpful to write the whole irregular plural noun out before adding an apostrophe or an apostrophe plus s. The teeth's roots is actually wrong. The correct one is the teeth apostrophe s roots. Because it's an irregular plural noun. It's the plural form is actually teeth. The singular form is actually tooth, right? So take note of that. Remember the base form of the irregular plural noun. Do not use apostrophe plus s to make regular noun plural, of course. For many young learners, they are still confused about this, but this is a common knowledge. We don't put apostrophe s to make something plural, and never use an apostrophe to make a name plural. The Williams are here, of course. We're talking about a family here, and if we want to make them plural, then we just add an s. We don't need to put an apostrophe s. Okay. So those are the confusing things that I want to emphasize to all of my students who are taking the 3rd GED test. You have to have a keen eye in looking for these confusing concepts. Alright, and what you have to do is just to continuously make, or writing is, developing your writing style is like a habit. So as long as you correct yourself from time to time and be aware of this theories that I mentioned to you, and in due time, I'm pretty sure you will be able to master it. And when it's time for you to take your test, I'm sure, especially on the essay part, you will lessen down your errors, okay, or mistakes. So I want to thank you for your time today, and I hope that I was able to enlighten you about this concept. If you want to know more about Phuket PALS and what we do, please do visit our website, that's phuketpals.org, or check out our Facebook page, that's facebook.com/PhuketPals. Alright, that's it for now, and see you again next time. Bye-bye.